We found Grandfather lying in the attic. It was a small, six-mat room, dark even during the daytime, its only window about the size of a piece of A4 paper. In the middle of the room, under the naked light bulb that dangled from the ceiling, was the futon mattress I'd left out that morning. My grandfather, Reijiro Fuchigami, was sprawled face down on the futon. His left arm was trapped under his belly. His right hand grasped at the tatami mat. Just beyond his reach lay a large sake bottle. It must have been almost empty even before it fell over, because the spilt contents formed only a small dark patch on the tatami. The few white hairs Grandfather had left, a sort of candy floss-like swirl at the back of his head, were spattered a dark red. Lying in front of his face, hiding it from view, was a copper vase. Its former contents, a bunch of out-of-season moth orchids, were strewn across the tatami. Emmy had bought them as a present for Aunt Kotono, knowing she liked orchids. So really they should have been in Aunt Kotono's room, not here. He's been hit with the vase. That was the thought that crossed my mind, and presumably everyone else's, but no one, not Mother, not Fujitaka, not Yoshio, not Aunt Kotono, not Kyoko, not Aunt Haruna, not Mai, not Runa, moved an inch. Even Ryuichi and Emmy seemed to have frozen in the face of this momentous event. Everyone just stood there, jostling around the cramped doorway, barely able to breathe. Eventually, after who knows how long, I found myself stepping forward into the room. This was my bedroom whenever we stayed at the mansion, a fact that seemed to have instilled a strange sense of duty in me. In any case, no one stopped me as I went to kneel at my grandfather's side. I took his wrist. It felt like a cut of ham that had been left out too long. There was no pulse, so he was dead. That much had been obvious from the moment we saw him lying there, but the confirmation still came as a shock. Or rather, it filled me with a fresh sense of despair. I turned to look at my family, who were still peering through the doorway. I had no idea what you were supposed to do or say at a time like this. I must have had a pretty idiotic look on my face, but nobody was laughing. Instead, their expressions were blank, as though all the emotion had been scoured from them. Watching them, I began to feel like bursting into hysterical laughter. For one thing, with the exception of Kyoko, they were all clad in the bizarre combination of brightly colored tracksuit and sleeveless chanchanko jacket that was the standard uniform whenever we stayed at my grandfather's mansion. Given the circumstances, there was something almost grotesquely hilarious about the mismatched outfits. It was Emmy who recovered first. She seemed to have received the silent message I was trying to convey, because she abruptly turned and clattered off down the stairs, presumably to phone the police. Her departure broke the spell. There was a sort of collective sigh. Then, as if this was the cue they'd been waiting for, my mother, Aunt Kotono, and Aunt Haruna suddenly turned on the histrionics. "Father! Father! Oh no! How could this happen?" That sort of thing.